SnapOn offers 3 solutions for leak finding with smoke technology: the EELD 100A, the EELD 500, and the EELD 600 HD. My name is Bob Creek and I support these machines. I would like to be there live and in person with you today, but we weren't able to do that, so we're sending you this video. Each one of these machines has the ability to smoke and use ultra trace UV dye, but each machine also has its own unique feature that works for specific jobs, and it's important that you understand what those features are to get the right tool to your customer to do his job. You know, people think a smoke machine is a smoke machine, and it's not true. Every one of them does different jobs. Not all smoke machines are the same, and it's important that you understand the difference so you can sell your customer the right tool. You know, when you take your smoke machine and you combine it with SnapOn handheld diagnostics, a scan tool, you also have ShopKey Pro and SureTrack, you have all the resources you need to find these pesky leaks, fix them, and verify your repair, and that's a big, big thing. I want to introduce you to the Smart family, a family that smokes together, stays together. Don't ever forget that. There's all my contact information. Feel free to call me anytime. Feel free to email me, and our tech support line, 1-800-901-1988. They're always there to support you, whether it's a machine problem or it's a technical problem with the job they're working on. We're there for you. You know, for low pressure testing not to exceed a half PSI, for most automotive applications such as evap, vacuum leaks, oil leaks, wind and water leaks, coolant leaks, seals and gaskets, these are the 2 machines you're going to be selling. The EELD 100A, which is a basic smoke machine, and the EELD 500, which is an evaporative emissions diagnostic tester. What did I say? Diagnostics, and that's what this brings to the table over machines like this. Before we get started though, let's talk about safety, and this is important. When you walk into a shop and you see a smoke machine, 90% of the time there's an air line going to it, and that's what they're using. And if you're doing vacuum leaks and oil leaks and wind and water leaks, that's fine. But if you're going into the evap system, it is very important to use an inert gas, such as CO2, nitrogen, argon. Why do you want to use an inert gas? Think about the ingredients for fire or explosion, right? Air, fuel, spark. Take any one of those ingredients out of the equation and you won't have fire or explosion. If you use an inert gas, now you will not have that. So let's think about what happens with a smoke machine. It heats an oil up, and when it heats that oil up, it becomes a vapor. Something has to push that vapor through this evap system, largest system in the car. It goes from the front of the car to the back of the car. It pushes that vapor through there, that vapor finds a leak, and out that leak comes not only smoke vapor, but also comes vapors, fuel vapors. Very dangerous in that shop. Why? Well, this guy's smoking cigarettes, throwing them on the floor. He's using a SnapOn MIG welder, 100% duty cycle, sparks all day long. He's hooking up batteries. He's got the torches out doing an exhaust. There's sparks in those shops. One of those sparks jumps onto a vapor trail and gets sucked back into your evap system, and you're using shop air. There is a chance you could have a fire, or even worse, there's a chance you could have an explosion, and you do not want that to happen. Please be safe and use an inert gas. Some of the OEMs that have their factory machines, they have nitrogen generators built into these. Why do they do that? Safety. You can't hook up shop air. You have to use nitrogen every time. So again, be safe. You know, let's talk about the EELD 500. Right out of the box, it's turnkey. What do I mean by that? All you have to do is add pressure and you're ready to smoke. The first thing you'll notice is its digital readout, all right? Not an analog flow meter, so it's 100% accurate. This machine is one-touch fully automatic, and what do I mean by that? Hit a button, it calibrates, tests, smokes, and gives you pass or fail, but pushing one button. Very user-friendly. For the A-Tech all the way down to the entry-level tech, they can all use it. It's 100% updated for any change in the industry, and this is huge. Right now, technicians look for 20,000 sleeks and 40,000 sleeks. That's all they care about. But the industry could change. Let's say the industry goes to an 010, an 008, an 005, zero, no evap leak whatsoever. This machine, because of its digital ability, will never be obsolete. So this machine is good for today, but more importantly, it's good for tomorrow. You know, I talked about diagnostics, and up here there's an auxiliary port, and this auxiliary port has 2 functions. One, you can smoke out of 2 hoses at once. You can do a true dual exhaust system, for instance. You can smoke through the filler neck and the evap port at the same time, whatever 2-hose application you want. But more importantly, for diagnostics, especially in the Chrysler and Jeep NVLD and ESIM systems, now you can apply vacuum into your evap system through Smart Smoke, and you can see if those vacuum-operated switches are opening and closing and know if they're good or they're bad. Big diagnostic capabilities right there. No other machine on the market can do that. This machine also powers up to 12 volts like all smoke machines. But when you power up to 12 volts, the car battery, sometimes you can drain battery voltage, and the OEMs don't want that to happen. If you drain battery voltage too low, you can create problems. You can create security codes. You can create radio codes. You can fry a computer. So SnapOn offers you the ability as an option to hook up a 14.4 or an 18-volt cordless battery. And that battery not only will allow you to power up the machine, but when you combine it with a CO2 tank, think about the portability. I can walk to the other side of the shop with this machine. I can go out into the parking lot. I can go do a road test. I'm not dragging a jump box. I'm not dragging an air tank. I'm 100% portable. No other machine on the market has that ability. You know, let's prepare our machine. Let's say we're going to work on a 2005 Chrysler, which can have up to a 20,000 sleek. Machine preparation is pretty simple. What you want to do is go under the hood of the car and you want to find this evap port. Now notice on evap ports it says do not exceed 1 psi. If you exceed 1 psi going into an evap system, you can break things, split a fuel tank, split a charcoal canister, break lines. So it's important to stay below that. These two machines are internally regulated to a half psi of pressure. You can't turn it up, you can't turn it down. No matter what you put to the back of it, you're only getting a half psi out, and that's important. The other thing is when you take that cap off, there's a Schrader valve in there. The Schrader valve must come out, and the machine comes with a Schrader valve tool to remove it. Remember, it's left-handed thread, so turn it the other way. When you take that port out, when you take that Schrader valve out of the port, now you can get full flow through your system, and you can do your first test, which is called a restriction test. Hook up, and you're ready to go. Now, what happens if the technician, though, says, hey, I can't find that green service port. I can't find that cap, because a lot of manufacturers remove these things to save a little bit of money. Well, SnapOn offers something that's very unique, and it's called a gas cap adapter. Now you can put this gas cap adapter on a filler neck, smoke through the filler neck instead of the evap port, doing the same test. You're just coming in the top side instead of the bottom side, and it's a great way to smoke out cars, and anybody using any kind of smoke machine is going to want to buy these things. What do you see here now? This is portability, and what do I mean by that? We didn't have an evap port, so we had to smoke through the filler neck. We also didn't have enough 12-volt line to reach back here, so we're using a cordless battery. Notice you see no wires, you see no tanks, you see nothing that's going to make this machine fall off because of its portability. If you're working on quad cab pickups, excursions, Suburbans, full-size cars, you're going to love the portability of this machine. Once we turn the machine on, notice we see FUL. FUL means full flow, or if you're using an analog flow meter, it will be pegged at the top of the meter. That means there's no restrictions in your system. This is a good test for evap. You want to make sure there's no restrictions in there. Once you know you have no restrictions, you take your scan tool out, you go into functional test, output controls, vent solenoid off and on, and you energize your vent solenoid. As soon as you energize that vent solenoid, within a minute to 2 minutes, depending on how big your system is and how much fuel's in the tank, your numbers are going to start dropping. As you can see, we have a 33,000 sleek. Remember, we were working on a 2005 Chrysler that could have up to a 20,000 sleek. What does this tell the technician? He's got a leak that's absolutely part of the reason that check engine light is on. That's a big diagnostic thing, and that happened in under 2 minutes. Think about the power of that to a flat rate technician or a shop owner. It'll give you a pass or fail, and you'll move on. Now, I want you to backtrack. I want you to think about this. Let's say that same 33,000 sleek was in a 1998 Ford, which can have up to a 40,000 sleek. Do we need to fix that leak? The answer is we need to address that leak, but fixing that leak is not going to fix our check engine light problem. And this is big for technicians, and that's why there's so many comebacks in the evap world, because of things like this. With this machine, you're taking the guesswork out. You're now going to know exactly what you need to do and go do it, and you will beat book time. Why SnapOn? There's many reasons. Let's talk about SnapOn. One of the biggest things is the EELD 500 has a 3-year warranty. No other machine on the market has this kind of warranty. And with this warranty also comes tech support, and you can see the 800-901-1988 at the bottom of the screen. That gives a guy a sense of ease. He knows this machine's going to last a long time. The EELD 100 has a 2-year warranty, same tech support line. So the 3-year warranty is a big thing. Let's talk about some of the other things that separate this machine from the other machines on the market. We've talked about the portability. No one else can do that. The wireless Bluetooth remote. No other machine has this. So I can control the machine both manually and through this remote. Some machines will have a remote on 4 or 5 feet connected to it, but this is wireless, so you can be at the back of the car while your machine's under hood, 12 feet in the air, and still operate it. One touch fully automatic, we talked about that. Any technician can use it. Computerized digital display down to 001. He's going to be able to check for any leaks that come down the pike, no matter what the federal government changes. Computerized digital display and flow in liters per minute. Another way of checking leak size. Some manufacturers, especially the foreign guys, sometimes won't give a 20 thousandths, 40 thousandths. They'll give a flow in liters per minute, and now you can check that. Computerized digital display both in pressure and vacuum reading inches of water column. Your scan tools can read that, and now you can also accurately read it through Smart Smoke. Pulsating low flow mode, and this one I want to show you. Pulsating low flow mode is a big function here. And what happens with that, when you turn on your smoke machine, let me take my flashlight out here, and you can see what happens. We're looking for a leak, and we have all this smoke coming up. And it's a lot of smoke. And you say to yourself, boy, I know I have a leak, but there's so much smoke, I can't find the source of the leak. Well, watch what happens when I hit low flow pulsating mode. I hit that button, my cloud of smoke disappears, and now it pulsates to help me see a cracked vacuum cack, a cracked vacuum line, or a cracked fuel line. And it's a big diagnostic feature for technicians working on all kinds of things, not just EVAP. And no other machine on the market has that. Vacuum port adapter, we talked about the function of that, the diagnostic capabilities, 3-year warranty, unprecedented, no one else has that. Sleep mode with memory. After 5 minutes, this will stop pushing vapors into the shop. After 8 minutes, the screen will go blank. Hit any button, it'll bring back up your test and give you a pass or fail, and you won't have to redo the test. No other machine can do that, along with its unique fold-down handle and hook that can store in any 8-inch drawer of a SnapOn toolbox for storage. You know, to me, on the screen now, you're seeing a lot of different things. And EVAP is a big problem out there, and a lot of people need help with it. But not everyone does a lot of EVAP. Some people do as little as 1 EVAP job a month. Some do 1 every day. But these things you see are everyday fixes in a shop, and technicians do this every day. So not only can you use smoke machines for EVAP, but you can use them for all these other things. And before you know it, your smoke machine that you sold that customer becomes an everyday used tool. And when guys are using a tool every day, they love it, and they can't wait to buy the next tool you tell them about from you. So make sure you talk about all these other things besides EVAP. The real thing is to get out of the guess zone. Accurately know how big your leak is. Know what you have to do. Again, not every leak needs to be fixed. Every leak needs to be addressed. But the bottom line is you want to turn that check engine light out and not have it come back, and then you have a happy customer that pays you and is going to come back and see you the next time they have a problem. How about this? Do you ever hear, hey Snappy, can I do trucks? Hey Snappy, how about AC leaks? Hey Snappy, how about turbos? And your answer should be something along these lines. Well, these machines might work. It depends on how much pressure you need. And if you find smoke, you found the leak. If you don't find smoke, you either don't have a leak or it's not working. And that's really not the answer they want to hear. But now you don't have to answer like that anymore, because now when they ask these questions, you say, we sure do. We have our new EELD 600 HD. Unlike the EELD 100 and the EELD 500, this machine is adjustable from 3 PSI to 43.5 PSI. Great in the heavy-duty truck shop. You can hook it up to 12 volts, 24 volts. It self-calibrates on every startup, and it's got a 2-year warranty. In the Class 8 diesel shop, you can use these on turbos, intercoolers, air-to-air coolers, DPF, diesel particulate filters, air brake lines, oil leaks, cab leaks, exhaust leaks, transit authority bus garage, fleet bus garages, school bus garages, big in those things for exhaust leaks, diesel forklift shops, agriculture equipment, high performance and race shops, a lot of applications for high pressure testing that these machines don't have the ability to do because they're internally regulated to a 0.5 PSI. You know, we tested a lot of trucks. Over 80% of the trucks we tested had leaks. Now think about these. Some of these small leaks aren't causing a performance issue, but small leaks don't get any smaller. They get bigger and bigger. And as they get bigger, you create more opportunity to fry a turbocharger or do damage on major expensive parts. And with this smoke machine now, you can fix cars before they break. Isn't that a great thing for your customer? You're saving everybody money. Look at all the different things in Class 8 trucks that can leak. EGRs, cabin fittings, and you can see them all on the screen. All these things are opportunities for technicians to miss something, and now with this smoke machine, they can check all these things. This is pretty interesting. This is a diesel after-treatment system. Look at all the places you can have a leak on here. Do you think these technicians are going crazy? Yes, they are. You know how they look for leaks now? Regulated air hoses and a bottle of soapy water bottle, and they're spraying on there. And many times they'll say, Bob, I know I have a leak. I can't find it. Now you can find it with the ability of vapor, the ability of ultra trace UV dye. You'll find these leaks. Let's talk about automotive, because some of you guys might not have truck shops, but in the automotive world, there's a home for this too. And why do I say that? Because of turbos. You know, the Europeans and the Germans are light years ahead of us in turbos. They've been around for years and years and years. We're very slow with turbos. We didn't have our first mass-produced turbos till 1962, a Corvair and an Oldsmobile Jeff Greeny. From 62 to 78, 16 years, we only had a grand total of 6. In 78, we came out with the Buick V6 turbocharged, caught everyone's eyes. All the motorheads were saying, wow, look at this thing. T-Type's next. Grand National, GNX, wow, turbos are cool. Fast forward to now. The Fast and Furious days, everyone's got turbocharged cars now, right? Your customers are working on turbos every single day. Think about Ford alone in 2016. Ford alone had 19 models that were turbocharged. Grand total in the whole country, over 200 mass-produced turbo cars. Your customers are working on these, and they are not going to be able to find all their problems with these smoke machines. They're going to need a high-pressure smoke machine. After you've got the knowledge, after you understand these machines, now when you're selling a heavy-duty workstation, it makes it that much easier to throw in a smoke machine, to throw in an EGR tester, to throw in tools that they're going to need to fix these things. Think about the Zeus workstations, same thing. Throw in a smoke machine, throw in a boroscope, throw in a TPMS3 or a jump box, and you increase your sale, and that's what it's all about. Knowledge is power, and when you have that knowledge, you'll have the power. When you have the power, you're going to sell more tools. My name is Bob Creek. I hope you got something out of this. I'm going to call your meeting right now to answer any questions, and remember, a family that smokes together stays together, and where there's smoke, there's money.